Welcome to another video. This is a bit of a bittersweet moment for me. I have always wanted a MacBook for so long in my life. I used to watch videos where like I'd look at MacBook reviews. Now let me put this a bit differently. I've had MacBooks before from my work, from other, like from working with other companies as a contractor to help them build software for their Android apps, right? Or features for the Android apps, right? And in those scenarios, I had a MacBook, but it was not my MacBook. It was their MacBook. And I had always fantasized, like when the M1s came out, when Apple released the first M1, I like really wanted to get one, but I had a MacBook at the time, a MacBook 13 from one of the companies I was working with and working for. And so I'd have to return them, and having a MacBook is kind of like getting something you've always wanted. I've been here before. I always wanted like a nice German car, right? And so I got an Audi, and crashed my first Audi, totaled it. That's a story for a different day, but in that time, I basically learned how, like, I bought another Audi after that, and I took care of that one, and then I sold it. I sold it to travel the world and be a digital nomad. And so I've been in this situation before where I get something that I've always wanted, and it's always so different. It's exciting, but I also feel somewhat numb. I guess it's a programming in my head where I can't be too overly excited. I imagined how it would feel to get this MacBook, and I don't even know why I'm making a video about a MacBook. It's not like it's the most expensive thing I've ever bought, nor is it like something that, but it just feels important to me, and because since it's important to me, I'm gonna share it with you. And I finally have a MacBook. Got it today. Bought it cash. No payment plans, no nothing like that. And so here's my new MacBook. Why am I sharing this with you, and why am I telling you this? Because as I imagined this moment, let's say years, months ago, weeks ago, days ago, I felt like I'd cry about it. I don't know why. I guess a childish part of me, like getting a MacBook, was really something, uh, like a childhood part of me really wanted to do. And now that I'm here, now that I have one, not only do I have one, I have a MacBook Pro 14 inch. 1 terabyte of storage, about 18 gigs of RAM, with about I don't know how many neural cores, but I'm so happy, um, and I'm incredibly happy. And so the reason why I got one is because my Mac Mini it wasn't working. Like it was working, but it's 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, and it's just not able to help me like do Docker and set up all the things that I need to set up to be able to build Poly, which is an automated workflow system that uses agents to help you automate different things that you need to do. And so I've been building this, and I'm happy right now, but I'm also like, when you get that thing that you really want, it's a bittersweet moment where you're like, okay, I have to be able to like there's still some pressure that comes to it, and I emotionally don't know how to handle that very well, and I think that's why I have a cap on the excitement, or yeah, like to like be able to, I don't know, rationalize it. I guess I'm just rambling at this point. So here's what I think. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Honestly, if it wasn't for you being here, I probably not only, I guess, would make the video regardless. But so thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. There's a lot of really cool, amazing things that are coming together. Little brother and I are working on like $100,000 challenge in 3 months, which is about 12 weeks. And so it's about June 15th when we should be done with that. And kind of show you how we set that up using different flows, different systems, different processes. I'm going to make more videos about Poly and how Poly can be able to help you automate different things. I will also share more. Oh yeah, my light turned off. I'll also share more news about what is the strategy that I'm taking with Poly. If I'm gonna have to be able to make 100 and something thousand dollars at the end of 3 months, I have to be able to articulate clearly what is the value of Poly, what is Poly, how does Poly help you, achieve different goals in terms of setting up automated workflows to help you achieve those goals and objectives, right? I know in the past that I've talked about Poly from the perspective of an automated branding system in which it can be able to help you automate make writing blog posts. And how does that work? And so I'll have to be able to make a lot of videos about that. You see, the thing is that as much as I do spend a lot of time programming this, I am the only one programming this software, and I'm programming it in languages I've never programmed before, such as Python and JavaScript, and those come with their own like challenges. The thing about that is basically that I I also have to be a bit more humble. Let me show you something. This right here is a whiteboard that I have, and I have all these sticky notes with it. And so for each of these sticky notes, it is a concept that I want to remember. So right here, it's a 10-second drill. So for the 10-second drill, what I essentially have to do is explain a concept in 10 seconds really clearly and really simply, right? So a reality tunnel here. But let's see. Pockets of reality. In 10 seconds, pockets of reality are versions of reality where you want to end up in which you have achieved something. So a pocket reality that I want to end up in 3 months is a reality in which I have $100,000 in profits from doing different things such as Poly, e-commerce, and setting up different workflows and getting paid by my customers to use that software, right? And so to get there, I need to introduce a concept called reality tunnels. Reality tunnels are basically tunnels of reality that get me to that pocket reality, right? So, what does a pocket of reality? What does a reality tunnel look like that can get me to be able to end up in a pocket reality where I have $100,000 in profits in my bank account? Well, that reality tunnel would include attributes of me working daily to be able to produce value and deliver that value to my customers so that I can make that kind of money, by the end of 12 weeks. And so reality tunnel essentially is a sequence of behaviors, steps, processes, and systems you perform every single day, continuously for a certain amount of time to be able to end up in a specific reality, right? If my goal was to get a job, let's say as a designer, then what I would do, my reality tunnel to that pocket reality where I am a designer getting paid money to do my work, is that the reality tunnel would be what systems of things do I do every day to make sure that I end up at this pocket of reality. And that's one of the concepts. So I hope that was 30, 10 seconds. Sorry about that. So here, ignorance debt. Ignorance debt is a Alex Hormozi concept, and it's basically the debt of, let's say, this is how much I know, but this is how much I need to know to be able to accomplish it. And so it costs me a lot of money to not know those things in between that, because I'm not able to actually produce value at the level I need to produce it to be able to make $100,000. So I'm ignorant. I'm ignorant of all the ways. Jesus, that's a hard. Arr, arr. I'm ignorant of the ways that I can be able to actually make that $100,000, and so I have to learn it. So I consistently, obsessively learn, and on top of obsessively learning, I have to couple that with systematic, diligent, conscious execution. Because it's not enough just to learn. I have to learn and apply those lessons. It is how knowledge turns into wisdom. You see, wisdom is the application of the knowledge that you have. And so I have to not only learn these things to reduce my ignorance debt, so I'm not ignorant of the things that I don't know that are stopping me from making money, but also I can be able to apply things and gain an even deeper understanding. So I'm not just a textbook person who can just recite a bunch of facts, but I'm also building on top of those facts that I have with conscious experiences that I have throughout my reality tunnel of every single day executing and applying that knowledge I'm getting to be able to get to a pocket of reality where I've achieved all my goals. Then the next one is Pride is the Devil. I was listening to a J. Cole song called Pride is the Devil. And Pride is the Devil, he basically talks about how pride, ego, I have a really big ego. If you don't know me, I have a pretty massive ego. And so having a massive ego has sometimes been to the detriment of me accomplishing things and being humble enough to want to learn. And I think I've taken the past 3 weeks trying to build Celery and MongoDB, and a part of me took so long to do that because I was not only did I have a lot of ignorance debt in what I knew about these subjects, but I was too arrogant to go learn it from people on YouTube because I figured I thought that me and AI can do it together, and that wasn't the case, right? And it takes a bit of humility, a bit of taking a step back and actually noticing that you are a bit ignorant and you should learn how to be able to do these things systematically and properly over time that would allow you to achieve those goals. I I like these moments where I do have to be humble. They feel shitty. I'm not gonna like kind of sugarcoat it here and be like, oh yeah, it feels good to find out that you're wrong. No, it doesn't. There's sort of a reflexive reaction to that, in which my ego tries to protect me and rationalize it as like, oh well, you did end up learning a lot about celery. Yeah, I did, but I could have learned a lot more, a lot quicker, and applied that knowledge a lot faster had I just taken time to study ahead of it and understand that this is something I don't know about. In some situations, that helps because I'm able to implement and execute on a bunch of things that are much harder to do really quickly using AI, but I do have to systematically think about it. Another sort of kind of blind side, that's at the end of my little brother added this one, so I might as well. Well, it's not mine, so I can't explain it in 10 seconds. Uh, so it is basically that controversy goes viral. So my little brother wants to make content, and he has to be able to also kind of figure out how to make $100,000. Like we both are figuring out how to make $100,000 together, but we are sort of kind of going through the we're going through the experiences based on what we already know. I already know software really well, so that's probably what I'm gonna like work on to make that 100,000, or work with him on to make that 100,000. That's what I'm bringing to the table. He's bringing his skills, his expertise, and what he's been able to do. To be able to help us make $100,000. He's been doing e-commerce a lot. He's been studying a lot, so it just kind of gives him an opportunity to kind of work on that. But the thing that we both kind of run into, there's a book called Entrepreneurship Myth, the E Myth, which talks about how entrepreneurs technically tend to like get into these rabbit holes, or get into these like positions where they are not executing as well as they could because of they're either technicians, they want to do everything instead of like letting people help. And so, or you kind of go into, like for my little brother, for example, even me, we kind of go back to the systems of thought and patterns of behavior that we have had in the past that didn't guarantee us success, but they're comfortable because we know about them. And so it's important that we're self-aware and like rational enough to not only to be able to ask ourselves, how is what I'm doing right now being able to get me to making $100,000? And so me buying a new MacBook, not only is it an emotional purchase for me because I really wanted one. It it's just something human. I think at the end of the day, it's just I really wanted one, and as much as I can rationalize that it'll help me with my work, and it'll help me because it has 18 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage, and it's just a wanted one, and it made me feel good. It made me feel like like looking back at where I was at this point last year, I didn't have a company. I didn't have money coming in. I was in Egypt, and this is a longer story, but I'd quit all the contracts because that's not what I wanted to do anymore. And so I could go back and start doing contracts again, but that's not what I want to do. I want to be able to actually make money using agents, and that's what I'm gonna figure out in the next 3 months to do to make $100,000 and automate my work, automate me working, or me making money, or me delivering value to my customers. I think that's really at the core of what I want to do. Is I do a lot of things that are valuable, and so I not only have to share those with you so that I can see if you actually find value in them, but I also want to be able to make sure that I can automate the parts of me delivering that value to you to creating that value, using agents, which can be able to help me make my systems and processes more efficient. And so that's what I'm working on. That's what I want to do. This video it's just basically me sharing that I got a new MacBook and how excited and happy I am about that, because about a year ago I didn't have the ability to do that. As much as I could have like looked it up or went and got another contracting job and then made like hundreds of thousands of dollars, this is money that I made not doing that. Like, looking back to last year, if you were to ask me where this would end up, I didn't know. I knew that I just had to follow the process, follow the systems of behavior, the tunnels of reality that could end up getting me to a point where I have enough money to buy a MacBook outright. And that's it. I think this is a bit brambly, but it also lays, I'll clip this, probably make it a bit easier and more for you to follow along. But thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for following this journey. Um, at the end of these, 3 months, when we do make $100,000, you'd be one of the first people to know and know how we did it, what systems I used, how we built it up, and you can gain value from that because you can repeat it for yourself. I'm pretty sure that you having a couple extra $100,000 in your account is not a bad thing, and that's at the very least what I want to be able to offer you. It is now I want to do it a bit different, because last year I went from like no company to a company that makes money in Egypt, where I don't even speak Arabic. And it's also the human relationships that really have allowed me to get there. And this is a bit different. Going to make these $100,000 without humans. Well, yes, with humans, because I'm delivering the value that these agents are making to humans. At the end of the day, it's the humans who are giving me money, my customers, people who really can benefit from what I'm building, what I'm making, what I'm sharing with them. Um, and that's a bit different from how I've made money in the past, which had to be with other people. And so this is a bit of a new path for me, right? And there's some anxiety with that. There's some second guessing, right? Because how do I know that this will work? I know it will work because I'll just follow the process. There's people who have come before me who have done it and who have their process pretty much set up, and they're like, hey, if you follow these things, this is how these things led me to where I am. And that's what I think at the end of the day. School or any other advice about getting to a pocket of reality where you have $100,000 in your bank account as profits for different services you've delivered kind of goes. So thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next one, and in the next one we'll talk a little bit more in a structured format what Poly is, what is the sprint that I'm running right now to build Poly, and what are the things I'm building in Poly. Let me know in the comment section how you're doing. If you're watching this from way in the future, let me know if I actually made it or if I was wrong. Yeah, and I'll share with you as we keep going on how we're gonna make $100,000. I think at some point I'll start making day of $100,000 video, which will kind of help be able to get us there. So other than that, have a good day, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye bye.